So we are over in Silhouette Studio. I went ahead and uploaded my image. I'm using an SVG image. And this is where we can create rhinestone templates. And it is so easy. So easy, you guys. Silhouette Studio has several different versions. If you are planning to cut your image over on your Cricut, then you'll need to be able to download this image as an SVG file. And the only way you can do that is if you have the business edition. If you have a Cameo, then you can just use this and cut from there, and you don't need to download an SVG, so you can use the free versions. All the versions have the rhinestone template. I guess what I was just trying to say is if you plan to cut it with Cricut, then you just need to make sure you have the business edition, because you need to download that image, and it'll have to be downloaded as an SVG. So I do have the business edition. I paid $60 for it. It's for lifetime, around $60. But if you're going to use your Silhouette, then you can just use the free version here. So we're going to go over here and we'll see this little diamond or this little gem. We're going to click on that and this will open the rhinestone template. And let's go over here first. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this because I'm just going to use these two images. So if I select this, you can see that this automatically defaulted when we opened it. It was already at 10 standard stone size. And then it has the rhinestone spacing. So this defaulted to 0.039. Let's go ahead. We're going to select this and let's click on this one. This is the edge is what it's called because it does the border. And right now it's at stone size 16 and I'm going to need 10. So I'm going to use 10 today. And the spacing is at 0.039. If we want to make the spacing bigger, I can just click just like this and it just gets wider. Or if you want to have it smaller, you can just go smaller. Whatever you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and put this back at 039 is what I'm going to use. It's just the standard and I think this works well. It's not too close together. It's not too far apart. So I think that'll work perfect. If I want to do the bow and I click up here and nothing happens, it's because you have to first select the item. And that's in every case. So if we have this selected, we can do this and that's the edge. So again, that's just the border. And then we have the line. And then these are just rows of lines. If this is the linear fill, so it just fills it up like in horizontal lines. This one is radial fill, and this one does it in circles. This one's pretty good if you plan to do something with circles. Like if I were going to fill this Mickey in, I think radial fill would probably be best because of the fact that it does little circles and it looks really nice. If I were to do the linear, you can see up here that this ear is not fully round. So that's why the radial fill would probably be best. Either way, it looks awesome, but you'll notice here that there's like maybe you could use a little bit more rhinestones in here. Either way, when you do it, sometimes there may just be a little tweaking that you have to do. So that is really simple to do. This is really easy to fix. Let's just go and zoom out of here. All you would do is make sure it's selected. We know it's selected because you see the box. And then you would click on release rhinestones. So when you hit release, then now you see these little squares around. When you have this, you can go ahead. Let's say I wanted to drag this here. I could go ahead and do that, which really didn't make sense, but I'm just showing you can. I can right click and hit duplicate, and then I can do an extra one right there. And then we can just move this a little bit just like that. See how good that looks, you guys? Seriously. That took like nothing, super simple. And then I would do the same thing down here if I needed to. I can just kind of move this a little bit and this a little bit. And then I would just right click, duplicate, and I would just maybe kind of move it over a little bit. So it's really, really easy. Look how good that looks, you guys. Seriously. So if you select this, you'll see right here since we're using 10 stone size, you can see that we're using 118 rhinestones. So it'll actually tell you if we were to do 16, Then now we're using 92 gemstones or rhinestones that are 16 standard size. So it tells you right down there. Something else that is really interesting or good to know is if I were to maybe make this smaller, you know, if I want to have it this size, then you'll see here that I now am using less rhinestones. But the really cool thing is no matter what size you're making it, it'll stay the 10 standard stone size if that's what you're selected on. That is so cool because I know in Cricut, when you kind of adjust it, well, really you can't. Once you're in Cricut, you're not supposed to move it around because then it does change the circles. So I thought that was so cool. So we have that, and then we're going to go back up here, and we have this. And I'm going to go ahead and select this, and I'm going to just release the rhinestones again. Just select release rhinestones, and I'm going to go ahead and just move that a little bit over here. And again, I don't use Silhouette Studio very often at all, so I'm sure that there are easier ways to do all this. We are going to go ahead and move this just a little bit. See how good that looks? That is super simple. Let's select this, right click, and group. So now I can move it. So what I want to do is place this bow like right here on mini, but if you can see that it will go on top of the rhinestones underneath, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to layer it that way because it won't look very nice. So what we need to do is remove those rhinestones. So what I'm going to do is click on here, and I'm just kind of see exactly, you just kind of want to eyeball where you're going to do that. So let's drag this back up here. I think this was like right about here, and we're going to hit release rhinestones, and that's again, that's like ungrouping type thing. I'm going to select this just to kind of get an idea. I think it was like right there. So we're going to do this one, drag this down, and so I don't want to do that one, I want to do this one. All right, so then I can select, I can go ahead and drag, like I'll go this way. I can do this and grab up and then hit delete. So I can do a little bit more at a time, or you can just do it one by one. Let's see if I can do that one. Now, when we drag this down, this looks really good. And if I want, I can go ahead. Let's say I want to have a little rhinestone there. I would just click on it, duplicate, and I can put that like right there if I think that that should go there, which that kind of looks pretty good. Now we're ready to download this as an SVG so we can upload it over in Cricut. If you're going to cut it on your Cameo, then you're good to go right now. So what we're going to do is go up here. We're going to hit save, file, save as, and I'm going to save to hard drive, and we're just going to go ahead and change this to SVG, and let's do Minnie Mouse, and let's do just 3 after it, and okay. So now when we head on over to Cricut Design Space, we'll do upload image, browse, and then I'll upload that image. So there we go. This is an SVG. We're going to hit upload, and there you have it. See how tiny that is? We'll have to just make that bigger. So now we can adjust this to the size that we want to use. All right, actually, let's make this just a little bit bigger. I think that looks really good. And we're going to go ahead, we have this highlighted. We're going to go ahead and hit attach just so all of these circles are combined. We need to add a backing for it. We're just going to insert a shape, and we're going to do a square. And then I'm going to go ahead and change this. Let's close this. We're going to change this to pink. And we're going to just do the same size, a little bit bigger. And we're going to arrange bring to back so it'll look just like this. And we can make it a little bit bigger just to be safe. So that will be our template. Now we're ready to select both of these. We're going to group them and then hit attach. So now this mini will cut on this template. So we're ready to hit make it and then continue. And then I've already saved my settings. So I have like custom blue flock and I have the pink flock. But the way that you can create your own is to go right here and you're going to do browse all material, and you'll find out what pressure and all that information when you purchase the flock. It'll tell you what it recommends you use, and that's what I used. We'll go click here to browse all material, and we're going to go ahead and do material settings, and let's scroll down to the bottom, and we're going to do add new material, and then you'll want to type in whatever flock you have. So let's just put pink flock for my case, and I'm going to do save, And we're going to go back right up here where this is what we just inserted. And then it'll say here the pressure is 175. What I used was 245. So it'll depend on what flock you use. So I did 245. And then this is how many times you want it to cut. If it's off, then it's just one cut. I like to do 2 cuts because you want to make sure that it cuts that flock. So I rather do 2 cuts to be safe. Then you're going to go ahead and hit save. So there I have it. And that's already set for me. So we're going to go back down here, hit done. So now I'll hit browse. And now when I type in pink flock, it'll pull up the one that I wanted to use, and I can go ahead and save it, bookmark it that way, and hit done. And then here I always like to do more just to be sure. And we're going to go ahead and load the mat. So I'm going to use this flock paper, and I'll leave in the descriptions below where I got it. And we need it to be about 8 by 8. So we're going to go ahead and cut this just like so. And so this is like a little bit over, but that's fine. And then I'm going to cut a little bit off on the bottom. Then we're going to remove this backing, and you'll want to save this backing. So just set it aside. And this is what we're going to keep the template on when we are done, because remember, you can reuse this. And then we're going to carefully apply it. And it is super, super sticky. Okay, I'm just going to rub that down. And then you definitely want to use a brayer to make sure that it is really on the mat. So it'll look just like this. We're going to go ahead and place it on the Cricut. We're going to load the Cricut. And now we're ready to hit go. All right, guys, you can kind of see here, it didn't mess anything up, but I think that it just kind of, this wasn't a good place. I should have actually trimmed this a little bit. Before we do anything, we want to make sure that it cut through. So what we're going to do is just take a little bit up here. We're going to make sure that the holes are, this will let me know, it looks pretty good, it cuts. If not, then you could go ahead and just hit go again. You don't want to unload your mat or anything like that, but you could have it cut it again, but it looks good. So let's go ahead and take it out. So I'm going to take this, just go over here really quick, just to try to get the flock circles that are cut to stick to the mat. You can also take this, kind of go over here as well. We're going to take this. Okay. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and take this off of here. Remember to save this because you can reuse this as many times as you want. And I'm going to place it this way. Just going to lay it on something flat. And I'm going to use a brayer just to go over it. And I am going to be using the Beadslin Hot Fix Rhinestones. So make sure that when you use rhinestones, they are hot fix, which just means it has that adhesive on the back that will attach to your shirt when you iron it. Definitely important. We're going to use this color, which is kind of like, it's clear actually, it looks purple. And then we're going to do red for the bow. So let's go ahead, we're going to start with the bow. We're going to place some down here. And then I'm thinking maybe this area I might match the outside area, the clear. So let's just kind of play that by ear. And then I'm going to use a little painter's brush. You can really use anything. I really like this though. They say you can use like a paintbrush, but I like, this works well. You're just gonna kind of go over it. ready to use the transfer tape. So, and this is not regular transfer tape. This is actually meant for rhinestones. This is bead sling transfer tape. So make sure it's big enough. And then you can also reuse the transfer tape. So we're gonna go ahead and remember, I don't know if I already told you, this is reusable. So make sure you save the back to line this up. And kind of messed it up a little bit. Let's see. Dang it, I did. So you just have to be super careful putting it on. All right, let's see. We can fix that. Let's go ahead and roll over it with the brayer, and then we're gonna have to fix that. So let's go ahead and see what we can do to fix this. I have the design out so I can kind of try to match the design. And let's see here. All right, guys. So I hope this looks okay. So I'm going to place this here, and we're going to take the backing sheet from the transfer tape, the transfer sheet on here. Let me make sure that I'm covering this side. Okay. And this is what it looks like. I think it looks super cute, you guys. Super cute. All right, now we can reuse this. So we're gonna go ahead and take this off. And this is our template to use another time. And then I can trim it a little bit if I want. So let's trim it just a little bit. And now we're going to do the shirt, and I have the auto press preheated at 355. We're going to do it for 15 seconds. So I have this at 355. We're going to go ahead, place the shirt on here. Let's place it up here. I'm going to go ahead, take a lint roller. Let's remove this. Just take the lint off. And then we're gonna pre-press this for about 10 seconds to take the moisture out. So let's go ahead, we're gonna do that. All right. Next, we're gonna take this. That's so cute. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, let me get this, just kind of get an idea where to place this, just as a starter point. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. And you can always save this if I haven't told you. You can always save it, do it later. You don't have to do it right away. And I'm gonna go ahead and match up the ears. Let's maybe a little bit lower down. That's so cute, you guys. And let me just make sure it's even. Oh, that's so cute. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and press it for 15 seconds. And you don't need to place anything over it. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and remove it. You can do it when it's hot. It's a hot one. That is so cute. Oh my gosh, so cute, so cute. Okay, so that one just came up. Or you know what? That one, I think, was loose. You know what? I think this one right here went right here. So what we're gonna do is turn this up. Just like that. We're gonna place that here. And then we're gonna press it again. Okay, we're gonna do 15 seconds again, just to get that one little rhinestone. Super cute. Let's go ahead, take it off. Wow, love it, you guys. I think this turned out super cute. I would love to know what you guys think. Comment below, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.